Yo, what's good, survival gang? Welcome back to another easy tutorial. Today I have something very easy and very simple and very fancy to show you guys today, and it is this lovely looking cobblestone survival cottage. Alright, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because I do want to get to the tutorial, but after looking at hundreds of survival house designs out there, there is one thing that tends to bug me, and it's the fact that most starter survival houses tend to use predominantly wood materials to build their houses. Now, the thing is, as someone who has played survival before, I do find wood material such as blocks and sticks and stuff like that to be a very valuable material in the beginning of the game, and I would hate to use it on something as a house. It also catches on fire and stuff like that. Now, you know what isn't as useful when it comes to survival, but is a waste product of mining? Well, it's cobblestone, and you probably have 100 of it laying in your chest somewhere. So why not build a house out of it, and why not it be your first house? And here comes our cottage. So I'm going to show you how to build this really nice, fancy looking cottage, and it's really easy to build. Just a few fancy details, but that's all you need to go a long ways to make something like this look pretty cool. It is made out of very popular stones that there with very few wood. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so materials. You're not really going to need much here, of course. It is going to be your first very basic survival starter house, but you're going to need cobblestone. That goes without being said, of course. You're going to need the whole 9 yards. So yeah, the wall, the block, the stair, the slab, everything. You're also going to need to pick up some andesite. You're going to need just the wood stairs for the details like that. And if you really want to get fancy on the interior, as you can see in here, then you're going to want to use some wood planks for that. And if you want to get even fancier, then use some glass panes as well. Now, if you are a poor survival starter and can't be, any more lazier and bake up some sand over there, then you can also use fences as a substitution. But other than that, once you got your materials, we are ready to take off. Alrighty, so once you've found your area that you want to build your house in, you're going to want to start off with the base. So we're going to use andesite for that. Now, I did say this is going to be a cobblestone house, but andesite is a pretty common material. There's probably some in the distance over there. Take a look at that right there. So it's definitely a common material. So to start off, we're going to start with a line of 7 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to go about 11 across. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then the same thing on the other side. So that will be 11 as well. And then just like that. So we have our base, plenty of room to, have living space. This is just a starter house and it's pretty easy so far. So what you're going to want to do now is grab your cobblestone or any block as of matter, because we're going to be covering that, and we're going to add another layer above as such. Okay, so once you've got your second layer, you're going to want to get your cobblestone stairs and fill that layer up to about all around until you reach a certain point where we're going to put the stairs. But we're just going to cover the whole thing for now, just like that. Looking pretty good so far. So now what you're going to want to do is actually leave a 5 block space in the front. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be the entry point. So you're going to want to take your andesite here, polished, and put 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here for the entrance, and you got your entrance so far. So now what you're going to do is you're going to want to build basically the frame of the house. We're going to keep our andesite and we're going to build up again. You can also use wooden logs if you have that, but I'm going to stick to the stone blocks. So we're going to make it about 5 blocks high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to want to do that for every corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and the frame of your house is basically finished. All you need to do is fill in these corners and fill in the floor as well. But we're going to start off with filling in each side of the house. And we're going to use cobblestone for that. Okay, so far you should only have just a cobblestone block with a base and some stairs, but we're gonna make it look much better in a second. What you're actually going to want to do is take some unpolished andesite and just add a little more texture to the bottom, just like this. Shouldn't take too much time, but this is just to add a little more flair since most of this is just going to be cobblestone. So just to add a little bit more to it. And just like that. Okay, so we are going to add some wood stuff. So you're going to want to get your spruce wood stairs, or any stairs of any sort of wood sorts, but I think spruce will look pretty good. And we're going to fill the front with stairs just like that. And then you're going to want to get some more slabs, cobblestone slabs, and just add just like that. Now, this will be the entrance of the house, so we are going to punch a few windows in. We're going to put one right about here and right about here, and we're going to add the window right here. Now, of course, we'll add a door and stuff like that later, but we're just going to mark the windows first. So this is going to be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 in the middle, center of the stairs, and then one block from each corner of the side of the house. And that is pretty much going to be the front of the house. Now we are going to add sort of a chimney to the side of the house. So in order to do that, you're just going to get your cobblestone and just make a 3-block gap such as that, all the way from the bottom, and just have it come up to about the 3rd block from this trim over here, and then just add 2 stairs like that, and then another stairs like that, just for some detail. And then all the way up like that. Now you have some depth. And if you really want to, you can also add some windows right here. Add some stairs just like that. Okay. So on this side, we're going to add a huge window since the other side kind of lacked windows. So just a big 3x3 sort of gap hole between the sides of the house. And then we're actually going to take our spruce stairs and add a little more detail to it, because we've already got enough cobblestone as it is. Top, we're also going to decorate as well with spruce. Okay, so the back. Now you can do a lot of things with the back. You can do whatever you want, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3 windows right here, and then this space. I might as well add another window, because why not? Got sort of a really nice sort of row of windows here, and we're just going to add some upside down stairs like that. Same thing on the top, upside down stairs, just so that there is a 3-block gap for the glass that we're going to add soon. And we're going to go back to the front and do the same thing for this, just like that. And everything is coming together. Now you're going to want to add a stairs just for 2 blocks in the middle, just so we can add a door, and then another stair like that, and you have your entrance and everything like that. Okay, so now that you have pretty much the entire bottom structure of the house, you're going to want to build the roof of the house. So we're actually going to continue with the andesite and just make it 1 block on each corner like this. And then we're going to add cobblestone stairs on each end. And we're just going to set up the roof for now and get back to that later. but we're just going to mark a few things off. In the middle, you're going to want to go 5 blocks across from the middle, so 1 block in the middle, two blocks on each side like that. And then we're going to have sort of a gable, which is a triangle looking thingy on the top, just to add a little more detail. Same thing on the other side. And we're almost ready to basically build our roof. So what you want to do next is just put 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, and 2 blocks here. These are all stairs. And that will mark where everything will basically start. So if you are building in this, well, you will be building this in survival. This is a survival house. You're just going to want to take some stairs, put them like that. Well, not stairs, blocks, cobblestone blocks. And just build up from the stairs that you marked. Just like that. Just like that. All the way up until you have a roof that looks something like that. Same thing on the other side. You can also use stairs underneath if you want to, but I will be using blocks just for the sake of our convenience. But this is it should be a very simple build, so we're gonna keep things easy and basic. Okay. So now that you have your basic roof, you're going to want to continue with the side of the roofs. So you're just going to continue building up your cobblestone blocks on each side as such, up until it hits the stairs that we started in the beginning. And then these are going to be a little bit bigger on the sides, just like this. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to add a block instead of nothing that we did before over there. And this is actually going to go all the way up like that, just until it's 2 blocks above this block where the roof was. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. A lot of symmetry going on here, but it's looking pretty good. Okay. And as such. Okay. So now you're going to want to continue the gable by actually putting 2 stairs on the sides just like that, and then keep continuing it upwards until it reaches just the same detail in the front, and you're going to want to do the same thing on the back. Very fancy sort of starter house, but it's all you need is just cobble and some stairs and some wood. So there we have that. Now what you're going to want to do next is actually connect the stairs together. So as you see, the stairs connect with another stair, and then you're going to do it on the corners just like that, and the same thing on this side as well, and on this side too. And you basically got the whole roof down. There's not a lot of work needed for the roof, so that's good. Okay, so now we have left is just sort of this gap to fill. Now this is where you can get a little more fancy, and you could actually use some spruce wood slabs just to add a little more detail. Or you could go ahead and just keep using cobblestone, but just to add a little more detail, we're just going to use spruce. And look at that, that is looking pretty good. So if you want to also add a little more detail, we can add a cobblestone wall or fence, whatever you want to call it, to each side, just to match it. And we basically have our entire structure so far. Okay, so once you've built your entire structure here, you could either basically end this video and do whatever you want with your house, or we're going to continue and finish off the windows and some extra details. So we're going to start off with the windows. You're going to want to get yourself some glass panes. Now, if you don't have any of those, and it's like literally your second day of playing, then you could also use fences, but we're going to use panes. Shouldn't be too hard to obtain. All you need to do is just cook it up in the furnace. Just some sand, but we have panes right here to use. And we're just going to fill it on the end like that. A lot of window space, a lot of light to bring in. Now what you're going to do is you're going to look at these 2 top part of these gables, and we're going to actually make a 2-block gap on each side, followed by an upside down stairs on each end. And this is just to add a little more light in, but you're just going to add another sort of pane space right here. And you basically have what looks like maybe even a small church-like building, but it is pretty fancy. It's a pretty narrow building, but it looks alright so far. Now what you're going to want to do is fill in the inside. This is the space that you'll have. Now you're going to want to start on the second layer because the first layer is just basically going to be nothing and the floor level starts there. So you're going to want to start with some wood. Get some wood. I'm going to use oak and just fill out the floor just like this. Just like that, and that was pretty easy. And you basically have your entire inside and outside for you to customize. We're going to end off with the chimney actually, which is what I forgot. And all you need to do is just add stairs on each side, just like that. And then take your cobblestone wall, put one of those on there, and end with a slab. And look at that, you have yourself a very easy and a very fancy looking chimney. It's looking pretty good. So now what you're going to want to do after that is start decorating the inside. Now I'm going to do that with you guys just to show you guys just the kind of space that we have. So I'm going to use just a fence to add some light. And we're going to do the same thing on the inside. So we have our chimney, and I forgot to put the panes over here. But we could actually take our furnaces, put a furnace right there, and then just have sort of a chimney go, or a fireplace, whatever you want to call it, a vent come from the outside. And we could either end it off there or actually use a slab like that just to make it a little fancier. And then we could get some chests, put it on this end. And you might want to put it on this end because there are no windows there, and you don't want to block up the very nice view that you have with chests. So that's what the space for. Over here you have plenty of room to put a bed. So I'm gonna put my bed right over here, and maybe put a crafting table as maybe like a nightstand or something like that on the edge, and maybe get some spruce stairs. Make a little stair thing right over here. Now, unfortunately, there is no room for an enchanting table, but this is a starter house. So, if you want something a little more fancy, then you might have to go for an upgrade. Now, there's quite a bit of room on the top here. We can actually add a chandelier. Very, very easy. Just 3 blocks down with, I'm going to go 4 blocks. And add a fence on each side. And a slab on the bottom. And a torch as such, and you have yourself a really fancy interior here, especially for a starter house. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little dining table, because what can you do without a dining table? So I'm just going to just get some random stairs and just put something like that there with a fence, and maybe get a trap door as well. And there you have it, just a dining table. But that is basically as much as you need. And there's plenty of more space to put all the fancy new tools and stuff that is in the new 1.14 update. But this is just your basic setup here. Very fancy starter house, but it's basically all you need. Just some stone and some wood, and you got yourself something really fancy. And I just forgot the door actually, so we're going to end with the door. And there you have it. Really nice house. Alright, so there you have it. I hope you enjoy your new starter survival cobblestone house here. Hope it was easy to follow along. If you did watch this entire video and enjoyed it, then be sure to check out my other survival builds and my other tutorials. Got a lot of cool stuff on my channel, so if you do enjoy my content, be sure to stay tuned and subscribe. But until then, see you in the next one.